Vocaloid.
Hey YouTube, let's create some lo-fi hip hop vocals. So we're gonna create our own vocals right now, and we'll create a lo-fi vocal chop voice. And then we're gonna chop up the vocals to give it more of that lo-fi hip hop sound. Okay, so right now I have the Vocaloid5 editor open. And if you're not familiar with Vocaloid5, this is a software that allows you to create digital vocals with your computer. It's amazing. You can write in your own notes and melodies. You can change the lyrics. You can use preset phrases. You can change the way the voice sounds. You can choose different singers. It's awesome. That's what we're going to be using for this video. Okay, to get this started, I have an audio track and a Vocaloid track. The audio track is where I'll play back the music I'll be using for my singer. And the Vocaloid track is where I'll create the singing part for my singer. And to show you how this works, I'll delete this audio and drag in the same audio file from my desktop. And this is what it sounds like. Right. Okay, let's create a vocal part that can fit with this music. I'll draw in a Vocaloid part. I'll write in some notes that fit as a melody. And before we take a listen here, I'll flatten the attack and the release effects for each note. This is a little trick I like to do to flatten the tone of each note as a starting point for the singer. You can hear it's really nothing that crazy at the moment. I'm simply following the notes in the chord as an arpeggio, along with holding out individual notes of each of the chords in the music. And the reason for this is because I plan to chop up the vocals later on anyway, so having these long notes to work with would be really helpful as far as vocal chopping goes. Next, the singer. I'll choose the singer I want to work with now. For example, Amy. Chris. Cyber Diva 2. All right, I'll go with Cyber Diva 2. Her voice sounds really good when it's chopped up, especially when you start adding some lo-fi effects. So let's do that now. Lo-fi effects. I'll jump into the style tab. And I can choose a whole bunch of style presets to work with. These are basically voice presets with different tones and different characteristics, audio effects, things that make the voice sound different for different scenarios. I'll go with Again and Again for now. I like this preset as a starting point for many scenarios, as this voice has a very flat and airy type of sound to it, and it works really well for vocal chops, especially for lo-fi hip hop. All right, this works, although I want to make it even more lo-fi. I'll delete a few of these audio effects that I don't really need. And I'll add some lo-fi distortion magic. There's actually a preset called lo-fi. I love this effect. You can definitely get a little too crazy with it. Although in this case, where you're going for a chopped up vocal lo-fi type of sound, you can really push it farther than normal. So let's go with that for now. And to add to this effect, I'll add a radio filter type sound. I'll choose a radio voice preset. and adjust some of the parameters to boost some of the mid-high frequencies for a mix of a radio effect along with a high-pass filter kind of sound. Amazing. I'll add some reverb and call it a day with the effects. Okay, now lyrics. I'll write in some lyrics with a holiday, lovely, warm with your love, keeping warm in the snow type of feel. It's so warm. And I'll keep the end with oohs and ahs to use as vocal chops later on. Having these long notes to work with will be really nice to chop up later on. Last, I'll add some movement to each of these notes with pitch bends and some attack and release effects as well, like vibrato, some vocal decrescendos, things like that. And I'll first use notes with dashes written as lyrics to bend the previous note to another note. It's a really nice trick to add pitch bends, to add some flavor to the sound. And some decrescendos. And vibrato. A really slight vibrato, nothing too crazy. There we go. We now have our vocal part. Let's chop this thing up and make it lo-fi for lo-fi hip hop. And to do this, we'll do a nice little trick here. I'm going to export the audio from this single track. And I'll drag the audio file into a new audio track. You can hear it sounds the same, although I can now chop this thing up with some simple audio editing tools. And we're not stuck with these colors also. We can change the colors if we like, of each of these tracks. You know, blue, pink, lighter pink, gray. Gray is giving me a wintry feel, although I'm not really a fan of gray. Gray makes me feel like the thing doesn't work anymore. It's like we shut it off. So I'm going to go with more color. I'm going to go with something a bit more lo-fi, like orange. And I'll make this one blue. So we keep those winter vibes in there. Also, we can edit the part name as well to keep things a bit more organized when dragging in new files into the project. And check this out. I'm simply going to take this part and slice it up with some editing tools. And I can drag these around to create new chopped up versions of the vocal. It's really cool. You know, it's a simple, fun way to chop up your vocals. Easy. Isn't that awesome? The thing I like about this is we have these very simple notes to work with. But when we start chopping this up and we get these slight pitch bends as well, we can now start creating all these different types of melodies, different types of rhythms and movement for this vocal. It's really nice. So I'll play around with this a bit more, and this is what we have. All right, that is it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to learn more about Vocaloid 5, head over to the official Vocaloid website to learn even more about picking up a copy for yourself. And if you enjoy Lofi Hip Hop, you now have a new tool to create the vocals you need for this style, or any other style that you like to create chopped up vocals for. That's it. Enjoy. Have a happy holiday. I'll see you around soon. Bye-bye.